Aziz, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. Okay, so this is about Dr. Faust, Dr. Fauci. Boy, I tell you, man, this is thick. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not really, I'm not convinced that him being drilled on Capitol Hill or wherever he's being drilled, that these people aren't all friends anyway, because I've seen plenty of these where people are getting questions about what decisions they made and this, that, and the other, and nothing ever comes out of it. I don't see anyone going to jail or anything like that. But basically, they're showing you that they're aware that something's wrong, and you know, Dr. Fauci, you know, based on his whatever is, you know, the media took his decision making and plastered it out for everybody to see on walls, on TV, to see that, you know, there's a coronavirus thing and there's this and you gotta social distance and all that. I mean, these people have messed up social living. They've disturbed badly. You know the news has a responsibility, and that responsibility literally is to tell the truth, and that's not what they're doing. The news is just they might as well be Walmart. You know, it's a manufactured truth is what that is. And anyway, this should kind of show you that this is just it's a joke. You know, it's a trick, and it worked. Didn't work on me, but it worked on many of us. And I don't know if this could help give any comfort in knowing to take off those ridiculous masks, especially when it's hot. I don't know what else to tell you. You know, I'm not going to play the whole video, but check it out. This is where I found it. Voice TV, Nigeria, 13 hours ago. And it shows Dr. Faust getting drilled somewhere about his decision making, and if you pay attention, he skips around. He will not answer the question, and this goes on for a good 10 minutes. It probably goes on even longer, but I'm not going to play the whole thing, but it goes on for 10 minutes, I mean longer, and he will not answer the question, and it's because of this sovereign law thing. This is what I learned from Yah's Magnified, is that they will play, you know, I mean, when you're dealing with sovereign law, you're supposed to, you know, you're not supposed to answer certain questions. You're supposed to have a certain stance when you're in there dealing with, because you're representing yourself. And Dr. Fauci is actually doing just that. He will not answer certain questions because they're incriminating if they do. It'll take them to another realm, and they know that. They all know that. And you'll see he's doing a clever game of not answering the question. He'll go around it. Although the one guy points out several times that, you know, because of what you said, this is what happened. So why can't you answer this simple question? So I don't know, man. I don't think anything's ever going to be the same in such a way, but maybe it will. But actually, yeah, I'm trying to be as positive as I can. But here's a little piece of it. I'll play it for you. And then I'll let you just watch the rest yourself, but it's worth watching.
Jordan.
Thank you,
Mr. Jordan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Fauci, do protests increase the spread of the virus?
Do protests increase the spread of the virus? I think I can make a general statement.
Well, 500,000 protesters on June 6th alone.
Yeah.
I'm just asking, that number of people, does it increase the spread of the virus?
Crowding together, particularly when you're not wearing a mask, contributes to the spread of the virus.
Should we limit the protesting?
I'm not sure what you mean. How do we say limit the protesting?
Should the government limit the protesting?
I don't think that's relevant to.
Well, you just said if it increases the spread of the virus, I'm just asking, should we limit it?
Well, I'm not in a position to determine what the government can do in a forceful way.
Well, you make all kinds of recommendations. You make comments on dating, on baseball, on everything you can imagine. I'm just asking you. Just said that protests increase the spread. I'm just asking you, should we try to limit the protest?
No, I think I would leave that to people who have more of a position to do that. I can tell you,
government stopping people from going to church, Dr. Fauci.
Yeah.
Last week in the Calvary Chapel case, 5 liberals on the Supreme Court said it was okay for Nevada to limit church services. Justice Gorsuch said it best. He said, there's no world in which the Constitution permits Nevada to favor Caesar's Palace over Calvary Chapel. I'm just asking, is there a world where the Constitution says you can favor one First Amendment liberty, protesting, over another, practicing your faith?
I'm not favoring anybody over anybody. I'm just making a statement that's a broad statement that avoid crowds of any type, no matter where you are, because that leads to the acquisition and transmission. And I don't judge one crowd versus another crowd. When you're in a crowd, particularly if you're not wearing a mask, that induces the spread.
It's a simple question, Doctor. Should we limit the protests? Government is obviously limiting people going to church. And look, there's been no violence that I can see at church. I haven't seen people during a church service go out and harm police officers or burn buildings. But
all right, check out the whole video yourself. It's worth checking out. It's obvious. It's obvious. There's nothing in the air. It doesn't work like this. Viruses, I've been saying since the beginning, it does not work like this. Never did. It never will. But it's clear, like I said before, lack of knowledge. That's what's happening. We don't have the knowledge. We believe in myths. If you believe that you can kiss someone and get a cold, well then that's a myth. You believe in it. It's not real. It can't happen that way. But you have to go and search and understand what they're doing here. And when you search throughout the knowledge and you see what it's telling you compared to what they're saying, you'll see someone is clearly lying or the knowledge is wrong. So I don't know. You don't need a whole lot of knowledge to figure this out, I think. But this is purely just to give people just some confidence that this is not real. This is not happening the way it should happen. This is not a real quarantine. A real quarantine would mean all restaurants shut down. You can only go to get your food that you could cook at home. That means all businesses shut down. That means Subway, the trains, because all those things could transfer a so-called fake virus. But again, we're living in a fairy tale. We live in movies, and because people watch movies so much and they're into the television, they can't tell the difference between real life and tragedy. How about that? So I don't know. I give up. I don't even try talking to anybody anymore. So many people who I thought were gonna fight against this have just bent over and put that mask on. Don't get me wrong, folks. I gotta go to the supermarket and get my water, and I gotta put my mask on. But that's as far as it's going for me. As soon as I step out, I take it off. But trust me, when it comes down to them saying that you need vaccination so you could travel, so you could deal with business, so just know that that's the mark of the beast. And many people who own homes and all that, the toughest decisions are up to you guys because you guys think you own so much. So I feel sorry for that. I mean, I'm not saying I don't want, but yo, this is gonna get ugly before it gets better. And these little people right here, these nonsensical people creating fuckery, oh man, yo, there's nothing could be said, it could be done. You can only hope that the karma is going to play out somehow and they're going to get what they deserve concerning this. You know, I lost a pretty decent job because of this, and I can't recover now. Now what am I going to do when the money runs out? Anyway, I'm just a little one. How many more? Anyway, inshallah, it's all going to turn out good though.